We are reviewing Star Trek Strange New Worlds, Season 2, Episode 5. The title of this episode is Charades, or Charades. I'm not sure how you say that word.
Charades.
Charades. And this is the episode. This is the episode that we knew watching this would probably not bode well for a lot of people. Now, knowing that it's now in a different timeline, I think this episode was great because it has nothing to do with our Spock. So we can enjoy this.
Well, was
new
it a
Spock.
Great episode?
I don't know if it was.
Was it great? The only reason I say that is because, well, you judge it based on what you think.
I liked it because I found it entertaining. I did like the whole this. There was a strange new world aspect of this where they found a new species and it's in this dimension.
That was cool. That was definitely Star Trek-y. That was good, actually.
And we find out that Spock at the last minute, and this was and we're gonna get to it, I guess, but at the last minute it was actually sort of wonderful how he diverted all the shields away from himself to sacrifice himself for Chapel. It just sort of worked for me. Now the Spock being the human Spock thing was I won't even lie. It was disconcerting. But I loved his mom. I loved their relationship.
Yeah.
And knowing now that this is no way tied to my childhood, I can see this as a completely different story with different characters, and I can really get into it.
Okay.
I thought not only was his mom great in the series, but she's hot.
Well, you got to remember, she comes all the way back from Discovery. She was also his mom in Discovery.
That's correct. Yeah. But I also, there was almost this heartwarming thing where Spock sacrificed himself or tried to for Chapel. Another heartwarming thing where he sort of understood his mom better, and we got to understand his mom better, and it worked for me.
I think I'm still going to point out the inconsistencies because I just realized right now that made me a little bit angry, even though I know it's a new universe. So I'm still going to point out some of the inconsistencies.
What inconsistencies? This is a different universe.
Still going to point it out.
I mean, this isn't even Star Trek, Star Trek proper. This is just
Let's just say Spock didn't have this relationship with his mom.
Fairy dust
in the future.
The actors
I will just point out non-angrily that his Spock did not have the same relationship he has now in Strange New Worlds in TOS. So, because it's a different universe, that's okay. But he definitely wasn't that chummy.
There is no possible way Shane's going to be able to let this go. He's saying it with his mouth. He's saying with his mouth that, well, because it's an altered timeline, I can understand it. But what's on his face is revilation. He's
I want it to,
I can hear you growling.
Like I told you, the way I wanted it to go and the way it should have gone and the way they should have freaking did it, because in the bottom line is the reason why it's impossible to let it go completely is because this change means they do not respect Star Trek in the same way that J.J. Abrams, God damn you, J.J. Abrams, the way J.J. Abrams said, I wasn't a Star Trek fan growing up. I'm not really a Star Trek fan, right? And he's making a Star Trek movie.
Yeah.
Right? But he wasn't a Star Trek fan. Give me a break.
Let me tell you.
He didn't respect it either.
If there are any creators that get the opportunity to create anything that has any remote history with a fan base, and you ever see this, I have one message for you. Never effing admit you didn't like something.
Never say you weren't a fan of it.
I get it. You want to get the job, get your bag, make your money, bro. But never publicly admit you're not a fan of Star Trek or Star Wars or Firefly or The Expanse or Gilligan's Island, whatever. Never actually, if you're remaking something that has a past, never say you didn't care about it. That only upsets existing fans. And the whole point of creating something that has that has a fan base with history is the existing fan base. You are starting. It's like look, when you create something, when you recreate something or reboot something from years ago, like Battlestar Galactica or Babylon 5 or Star Trek, whatever, you are basically starting with a handicap. You already have a fan base built in.
Wait, a handicap, or you're starting with? Oh, okay, a leg. I see. You're not starting handicapped. You're starting with an advantage.
Right. You're starting. You're driving at the woman's tee. How do I explain this?
Well, you're not a sports person, so knock it off, please.
Okay, I'm sorry.
So, yeah, you're like, now if you're
I'm not
bowling,
a sports guy.
No. If you're bowling, you get a handicap.
Whatever. Okay, look, you're
Okay, but
starting
that's
with an
literally the only
advantage.
damn sport where that is the case. So yeah, advantage.
World, should I go like World of Warcraft? Like you start with gold. I don't.
No, I think you start with an advantage because you have a following of people who are already going to show up to watch your shit.
Right. You don't got to convince people.
Smith, He-Man. Okay. Kevin Smith.
And Kevin Smith, bro. Yeah, what a dummy.
Anyway, sorry.
So from Michael Nemo, he has a good point. New fans, thank you, Michael Nemo. New fans believing that Star Trek is our reality remind me of the Thermians in Galaxy Quest when they mention Gilligan's Islands and they say, those poor people.
Yes.
Perfect analogy, Mike.
That analogy is perfect. Yeah, because it's ludicrous. We, those Thermians, at least they had an excuse. They're freaking aliens. What's your excuse, human beings on Earth that watching Star Trek for 50 years? What's your excuse? Ridiculous. Actually, there were actual real people who that story about Galaxy Quest was based on an actual real people. When Gilligan's Island came out, some people called the network,
right,
and wanted to find out how they could support finding these poor people.
Yeah, back in the day, though, like people were less educated. There was no internet. They listened to radio dramas. Gilligan's Island was one of like the 4 shows on television you can watch, like of all of television.
4 shows, that's great.
And there was like these 60-year-old people that were like, oh, it's a documentary because they only watch news. Like, I get it, I understand. I'm not even like, but this is not the case now.
Right.
Anyway, so in this episode, getting back to it,
do we have any visuals on this one, or
I'm gonna pop it up.
Okay.
But in this episode, before I pop it up, we're not going to do ups and downs. We're going to go through it a little faster pace. We went back and reviewed our 2-hour reviews, and we realized that we spent a good hour and a half of that 2 hours talking about things that had nothing to do with the review because we didn't really care. So
yeah, well,
we're going to tighten this up a little bit, right?
Yeah, we got to tighten it up, and it's fun. It was fun to go frame by frame when we did Picard season 3 because we could really go into all the Easter eggs and everything. But now that this is not in our universe, it's pointless to like compare them to other things. In Star Trek.
Back to the universe thing.
Well, it is. It's pointless now to say, well, in this version of Star Trek, like later in TNG, this is going to happen because none of that freaking matters anymore.
Yeah.
So there's no point in even mentioning it because they're no longer connected.
So we're gonna review it as is, and no ups and downs for now. And if you don't like that, and you want the ups and downs back, then feel free to comment below. Here we go.
All right.
Okay, so we open up, and the Enterprise is in this. They're investigating this new species that went missing or whatever, and there's some downtime they mention, and it's interesting how Chapel is another thing that wouldn't even be remotely close to the TOS. She's actually submitting like her sponsorship to the Vulcan Science Academy, and she's trying to get in there.
Yeah, which would never happen, by the way.
Yeah, there's no way.
They barely let a half Vulcan in.
Yeah, they didn't even want Spock, who's a half Vulcan, who is the son of a respected Vulcan member. And she's trying to get into the Vulcan Science Academy. What a joke.
And well, I'm not gonna.
But it's a different universe, so it doesn't matter.
Well, you go into the movie where Spock basically spurns his father. I'm going to Starfleet instead of joining. He basically passes on the Science Academy because they basically are being a jerk to him, I guess. So he says, "Yeah, I'm not going to go. I'm going to go join Starfleet," which I'm not sure how that is how it went down either. So.
Right. So she's discussing with Lon that there's some weird tension between her and Spock. Blah blah. They did
Because that's what the show's about.
I feel like the writers of Strange New Worlds really watched like a lot of Space Seed, because there's a lot of like very like they didn't follow it, but there's a lot of things between.
Like they didn't watch it,
but there's a lot of things in that particular season of TOS that they sort of they glean onto, like they grab onto and hold on to, like
what?
This very brief relationship, or
well, that's not from Space Seed.
Well, not but it was from that season.
You're talking about from TOS.
Yeah, from TOS. This very brief interaction he had with Chapel. It's that's fine. It's a different universe. Doesn't matter. But so.
Like, don't get me worked up, bro.
I'm not.
Like, don't get me started.
I'm actually
like,
trying.
I'm
trying to get you started.
Fire, don't do that.
I'm trying to like rev your engine, but you're not taking the bait.
I'm feeling it. I'm just trying to take myself back.
Chapel is so good looking. It's crazy.
I struggle. I know some people really like her, and like there's sometimes to me when she looks really good, and then there's sometimes when she looks like a 12-year-old boy.
She combed her hair today, so it's nice.
What'd you say?
She combed her hair this time.
Right, but don't you notice that like sometimes you look at her and you're like, oh, that's reasonable, and then you're like, oh my god, she looks like a little boy.
I don't know. I think she's very attractive, and I've never been attracted to little boys, so I don't follow you on that one.
I felt like you had to say that out
loud. Just when you thought, just when no more, just when you thought that an episode about Spock wouldn't introduce Pike in his kitchen. Oh, but no. Well,
what makes it worse is he's teaching Spock how to cook. Oh, so Gordon, tell me, Mr. Ramsey, how do you make this stuff?
What's interesting is like, and people were like, why do you care if Pike is cooking? I don't actually care. But when it's every episode, literally every episode, they introduce him with the apron on. At what point you're like, all right, find another stick, bro. Come on.
When he cooks more than he captains, that's my problem.
Right.
Like, look, did you see that line? Go back. That line was, you got to make sure you don't always use fresh herbs, not synthesized. Who wasted their time writing that line for this show? Is it that important?
We don't have a problem with him cooking. It's every episode. They literally introduce his character every episode, every episode with him in an apron.
I would not know he's the captain. If I just popped in here, I would think he was like the cook on the ship.
Yeah. I did like this part where he kept cleaning up after.
That was funny. After Kirk. Yeah, that was actually. I mean, something about the George Kirk guy is nice, and that does come into play later. Listen, this is funny.
It's funny.
There are funny things that happen in here. If this was anything other than Star Trek, it would be hilarious. Like, you can totally replace Ethan Peck's Spock with Drax from Guardians of the Galaxy in this show, and there's no difference. Like, once he becomes human, he essentially becomes Drax.
Right.
Okay.
So he's also out with the ladies getting drinks, and he doesn't understand different colloquialisms and all that. Which is it's Spock. It works.
I mean, here's my question though: is why is he out with the ladies?
Who else are you going to go out to? Is there any other men on the bridge crew?
Well,
he was just cooking with Captain Pike. He's done cooking.
Crap.
He wants to get drinks. There's no other.
Oh, that's right. There's no other guys. Never mind.
Yeah, that's fine. It's not.
Oh, there's Chief Kyle. We're not sure. He may not be a guy.
He might not be a guy. Yeah. So, his fiance is going to be coming aboard for the Vashal dinner.
Vashal. Yeah, it's like their. When you're getting married, it's like the engagement dinner.
Right. He's going to meet her parents. They're going to evaluate his Vulcanness,
Yeah.
how acceptable he is to marry their daughter, et cetera, et cetera. to bring the most beautiful creature in the universe, for the love of God. That's it. So they're going to be coming on board his ship instead of doing it on Vulcan because of his schedule.
Yep.
And that's it. That's the setup. So now he has to pilot a shuttle, and of course he's going to go with Chapel, because that makes sense. And they're going to go get readings.
Because that makes sense. Because Chapel goes on away missions all the time.
Yeah, Chapel. You know the nurse. Okay, yeah, sure. They're going to go on. They're going to go check out this anomaly, and get readings of it or whatever, and maybe find out what happened to the. I'm going to try to say it. Kirkovians.
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 Nice. Close, yeah.
Yeah. They're going to try to find out what happened to the Kirkovians. I like Kirkovians. Kirkovians. Now, I like this. I want to be clear. This is not sarcasm.
No,
I like
Star Trekky.
I like the idea of the Kirkovians. I like that we're trying to figure out what happened to them, and we're going to tell this sort of personal story in the middle of this. What I don't like is that Strange New Worlds, it baits you with the Star Trek story, but then makes it about like the personal dramatic
right
relationships.
The point, yes, the B, okay, A B story. The B story is Star Trek stuff. The A story is whatever personal relationship they want to explore.
Right.
In Strange New Worlds. The B story, the very limited B story, is the science, wonder, exploration, all that cool stuff. The A, and you can go back to every episode and look at it. They're all the same.
Now, we got two things there. Dork Knight says he was dropping her off at her interview, and Yorkshire Geek was saying it's because of her expertise in archaeological medicine. Don't know. Let's just pick one of those.
Why she's on there?
Yeah.
Well, it is an archaeological thing that they're going to look at, right?
Right. I guess.
Wait, that the Vulcan Science Academy is... Why are they here? Why are they a part of this? Why are they doing this? The Vulcan Science Academy is already dealing with this thing. Why are they here?
I don't know. But they're... Yeah, she's looking at him lovingly. I want to find someone...
Right there, like the last one, the go back one. Woman, kind of. Now go forward. Boy.
I don't agree with you at all. Okay, you're on your own hill with that one, dude.
I don't know.
Although I want to find someone to look at me the way Nurse Chapel looks.
I'm going to be 50. It's hard
Spock.
to look at anybody that young.
I want to find someone to look at me the way Nurse Chapel looks at Spock. Because clearly she loves Spock.
And she did love him in TOS and in the 100%, universe.
Yeah.
In the other universe that's not this universe, they absolutely, she did have, like Spock quite a bit. Yeah.
And
it's just how it was held back.
Yeah, and she's talking to Spock about how he feels like he's been avoiding her, and he's like, I should initiate scans. Right. All right, so they're scanning, looking for an energy signature. Let's just move on. Oh no, alarm, problem, ship systems crashing. They shouldn't have gotten so close to the thing, like for obvious reasons, but it's fine.
Well, the problem is they don't actually do Star Trek stuff very often, so they don't have the experience. They didn't know they shouldn't get that close. They're used to like cooking, running around the bridge, having sex.
Shane seems really bitter that this is a different universe.
No, I'm trying to help them by explaining why they would do that.
Look, I think you're being overly harsh, but that's my opinion. You can have your own opinion. I didn't mind this.
I wasn't being harsh at all.
You are. You're being overly harsh.
I was complimenting them on the fact that they don't have enough experience to be able to look. Spock's a young guy who is 7 years away from being the other team. He doesn't know how to drive a fucking shuttlecraft.
Okay. All right. Come on.
Right.
All right. So this was another part I really liked, and we were doing upvotes and downvotes. This would be an upvote for me. He extends, and she doesn't know this yet, but he actually looks at her lovingly, and he extends the shield around her to protect her. That's a Spock thing. Okay.
It is. He just would have done it unemotionally. So had they done that like unemotionally, that would have made more sense. Like he should have looked at her not lovingly, but looked at her with cold, icy, but then his action. See, the thing about Spock is his action is what shows you his feelings, not his feelings. In no matter what fucking universe it is in.
Okay.
No matter what universe Spock is in.
Calm down, Shane.
Yes.
Jesus.
I'm sorry,
Shane's
guys.
doing his best to get us demonetized here too. You know what's funny is someone says your sarcasm meter is maxing out, Shane. We should have a damn sarcasm meter above each one of our heads that literally starts to peak at certain things. Because there were some comments during one of the last shows like, I don't know if you guys are being sarcastic or not. I'm like, sometimes we don't even know.
Well, let me be fair and say that I really love the idea of these beings that they run into when they go through this thing here, and I love the idea of Spock sacrificing himself because he would do that.
Yes.
So that's accurate to me, and also the fact that they've found new intelligence,
Right.
and a different type of being. It's cool. That's Star Trek. I like that stuff.
Yeah, I do too. Now he wakes up, and so the beings, the entities, realizing that they had destroyed the shuttle, and I love this so much. No sarcasm. I love that they like fixed the problem. Like, oh, we made a mistake. Let's fix it for you and move you and set you on your way. No harm, no foul. It's such a Star Trek thing to me. Like, this is such a Star Trek thing to me. I loved it. I absolutely adored it. And so they did.
I find interesting though, if I can push back a little bit.
Go ahead.
It's strange to me that they would never run into any other entity that was half one thing and half another. Like the combination of two. Like, depending on how advanced a civilization is. I mean, I get it. It's kind of but it does seem...
maybe they thought they were correcting... Like, maybe they thought they were giving him back even better than he was before.
Well, and what does that say about how they feel about Vulcans? So apparently Vulcans are weaker than humans.
Right. I don't know how...
For this entity, right?
Yeah.
Or less advantageous.
Right. So he was in a shuttle accident, and they made him... They made him human.
They do an interesting job. I do like how
Ethan Peck was like, can I have an episode where I don't wear the stupid ears? Like just one.
Well, it saved him money for an episode. So
we talked about that in the episode with Kirk and La'an. You know, they saved money on those Romulan ears. They didn't have to buy Romulan ears for the Romulan. Sorry, go ahead.
Why would you not have the Romulan?
I'm so mad about that still. I know it's stupid, but I'm mad about it.
No, it's just you're right. It's dumb. Like, yeah, never mind. Okay. So the whole point here, so this is supposed to be a funny episode with a little bit of heart.
Right.
Okay. We had a serious episode last episode, which I wasn't here to actually talk about that. Maybe later on I can mention that. Maybe in the member section I can give my thoughts on episode 4. But
I'll allow it.
Okay, thanks. I was about to say, well, you really can, because you can just turn us off at any point you want to. But what I liked how they were all over the top of Spock and saying you were in a shuttle accident, and they kind of withheld the surprise that we're about to get. So that was, I think, well done.
Yeah, that was clever. Yeah, that was clever. And yeah, so he's human.
And it reminds me of another episode of Star Trek, right? Where they ran into the aliens. I think it was a TNG episode where I think it was Riker who had been turned into, how they changed their look to fit the aliens, right? And it starts out the episode with him, I think, in a hospital bed, and they're like saying, "You're going to be okay." And then you look at Riker, and he's an alien, right?
Right.
That was the beginning of the episode.
Yeah, I remember that. It also reminds me of the Tuvix episode.
like every week. Every week.
I'm sorry.
Every week.
Janeway did nothing wrong. That monstrosity had to go. Sorry.
I just didn't like the actor.
What anyone says, that monstrosity should have been... They shouldn't even have used a transporter pad. They should have just murdered it on sight.
You know what? I would have been fine if Neelix had been gone, but losing...
I couldn't... Yeah, you're right. No, you're
Tuvok.
right.
Losing Tuvok would have been too hard.
Yeah, that would have been too hard.
I loved him.
So many people love Tuvix, and I'm less like... Tuvix is the worst. He's the worst. He's sort of creepy and stuff. I remember him, like, even as like, he's just a creepy dude.
Yeah.
Anyways,
He,
I mean,
he tried. He did his best.
It was still a good episode. It was like this moral, thought.
Well, yeah. Well, you
Exercise.
think about it, like Tuvok is on completely one side, and then Neelix is on the other. Like when you combine them, they kind of make the perfect person.
They kind of do, yeah. Like
right. So,
I think that the audience was supposed to like fall in love with this character, but like half of us did, and the other half were like, "What the fuck is this thing?"
And then you're like, how do they look at each other in the future? Like when they come back, and you're like, I guess they have no memory of it.
That was a good episode, though. Like,
was.
no joke. I'm not like no sarcasm. It was a good episode. So, we need like an actual sarcasm meter on there.
So he looks at his 3-year-old girlfriend. Dude, Darth, I was thinking about that last time. I'm watching. I saw the episode where Kes finally like gets off the ship because Jerry Ryan shows up and they can't have two.
Bro, she had like the skin tight uniform, bro. I remember all of us before doing that were like, "Oh, she's sort of hot." They're like, "Yeah, she's 4." What the?
Well, what's weird is like, did you notice how like Kes kept getting more like attractive?
Yeah, they kept putting her in more skin tight outfits.
Like, what's going on? Like they kept like, her hair became like went from like a boy bob to like this like voluptuous, gorgeous haircut thing.
What are you thinking? You made the character 4 years old. What are you doing? It was like it was like a reverse anime thing. Like anime characters, they look like little girls, but they're like 10,000-year-old witches. And you're like, well, I could be attracted to that because it's a 10,000-year-old witch. This was like the opposite. Yeah. It's like a woman who's 4 years old.
It was really, really weird. Yeah.
Christopher Mays says Tuvok doesn't exist. Different timelines. Sorry, guys.
Stop it, Christopher. Stop it. I see. That's the part I don't want to address that. This is what worries me because technically what Akiva has done is he's like wiped out the rest of Star Trek. Like if it's a single timeline, thank you for the $4.99, Chris. But I got to tell you, if they wiped out the rest of Star Trek, I don't know. That hurts my heart, hurts my head.
Michael, thank you, Chris. Michael Nemo, these aliens are more advanced than the Telosians. I can't say the word.
Wait, stop. Penny finally got the membership. Yes, congratulations. Thank you for everybody who worked so hard for Penny to get a membership today. We thank you because number one, you're supporting us, but also Penny gets to be in the member section. Thank you guys so much.
You guys went ham trying to get her that membership.
Well done. I've been following this. This has like been the drama of the show. This is what I've been watching.
There's like
it's been everybody's trying.
There's an A story, a B story, and the C story. Let's get a membership.
Old Yorkshire Geek finally popped in with one and got her.
Welcome.
I think 40 people got memberships this video. Like no joke. Like trying to get her
people do like, we have a membership goal of 5 new members today. Thank you everyone for helping out. Yeah. This is actually awesome because like we were worried that this stream would not be attended because this channel, we don't do live streams on this channel, but you guys are proving us wrong. I love that.
Yeah. Thank you.
So can you read this? I can't pronounce that word.
Yes.
Telosians?
These aliens. So Michael Nemo for $5. Thank you. These aliens are more advanced than the Telosians since Vina still looked like crap after her accident. That's right. So going back to the cage of the Telosians.
Oh.
Yeah. And because Vina did, remember Vina was burnt up and that's why she got her image and she wanted to stay with the Telosians because it was more important for her to look beautiful than to be, free of the Telosians.
Right.
So,
yeah, what is that telling you? Son of John.
Well, it tells you back then how they felt about women in the 60s.
Right.
Because all they care about is how they look.
Yeah, so. Beautiful faces and really short skirts. I gotta be honest, watching TOS now, and especially in its remastered form, is awesome. Oh my God, the uniforms back then, mind blowing. Loved it.
Love the skirts.
Hey, Son of John, see you later, brother. We'll probably be here when you get back. And Matt Vader, this is why Brian and I get along. Tuvok sucks.
We'll probably be here.
Yeah. Okay, going back to this. So they're back on the shuttle. Let me just get back to the review. They're I'm giving myself.
Sorry, it was worth interrupting the review for that.
It was. Tuvok does suck. Okay. They're on the shuttle, and the shuttle's they found it dead in space, like it was rebuilt, but it's just sort of floating in space. Una, turn the light on, man. Okay, and that's when they explain what happened, blah blah blah. And you wanna explain this?
Yeah, I mean, essentially, they kind of, figure out they've got this kind of new life form. It's AI though, right? It's like artificial intelligence.
No. It just it acts like it acts like when you're calling like Best Buy's like helpline. It's like even though they're talking to an actual entity, an actual like thing, a being of intelligence. It's like the accident, the remediation has been made. You can go on your way, basically.
Yeah,
Per our laws, no further contact is necessary.
I guess they don't typically talk to people, and I don't believe they're in our universe, or not in our. They're not in our. They're somehow in like another reality, right? That's what the wormhole thing was.
I don't know. I don't know how it works, to be honest.
So, anyways, the point is these aren't people you're going to run into very often,
right? And they just keep saying, "Look, hey, we fixed the problem." So no.
Sorry, my bad. We wrecked you. Okay, sorry you fell into our hole, our gravitational well, but you're good. Everybody's good. So let's move on. Don't sue us. Don't sue me, bro.
I mean, to be fair, look, I love that it's an advanced species that saw that they had caused a mistake, corrected the problem, and they're moving on. Almost like we're sort of beneath them. So look, we've solved the problem. Please continue on your way. Have a good day. I like it. I like this whole thing. Very Star Trek. But then they mentioned how Spock had mixed instructions, so they just sort of fixed them.
Right. Yeah, well, we went ahead and fixed that little problem you got there, that little Vulcan problem.
They're alive, but then remediation was made. Have a good day.
Like, well, hold on a second. Don't hang up on me. Oh, they hung up.
Yeah, they hung up. Yeah.
I spent an hour on hold trying to reach you guys. It's like
it's pretty much every phone call I ever have with any technical support ever. All right, so yeah, he's starting to feel human emotions. He's hungry, he's annoyed, all the typical things. I love how Ethan Peck can now just, emote. You know what's shockingly funny
completely
to me?
Not be Spock. Yeah, absolutely. So we get to see Ethan Peck here. It's cool.
Well, what's funny is to me is that about half his performance just looked like his regular version of Spock to me. He was just emoting just fine.
Oh, yeah, he's pretty much just Spock same thing. Right, he's still Spock.
No ears. Now, the thing is, here's the catch. He's going to have an engagement dinner with his fiancée, the hottest thing in the universe, and her parents in this state. And the whole point of this is to make sure that he is Vulcan enough.
Dun, 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 dun. Come and knock on my door.
Right.
We've been waiting for you.
Right.
Three's company too.
Perfect.
Get ready. The
timing.
hijinks are coming.
Perfect timing, Spock. Next time you have a dinner, don't go on a shuttle mission.
Well, don't go on shuttle missions at all because this show's about cooking and sex. So I'm not sure why you're doing any science stuff.
But normally I'm into, so
Well, yeah, if you're watching anything but Star Trek.
Right. So, yeah, now he's hanging out with the girls again. He's actually enjoying himself. He understands it.
You know what's funny? Hold on a sec here. Pause this crap. I'm sorry, I said crap. My wife hates Star Trek. And the reason why she hates Star Trek is every time she turns it on, she's like, why are they so serious? And like, why is everything like such a downer? Like there's nothing, nobody's laughing. There's nothing funny. Where's the comedy in this show? Dear, Star Trek isn't a comedy. So you're not going to find, there's like some funny moments sometimes, but it's not comedic.
You should make her watch Discovery.
Listen, I put on this episode, and she's like, why don't you watch more of this?
Really? Oh, I'm going to try that later on.
Well, I don't want to watch this with her. So I don't want to watch this at all. So I just told her, I'm like, this is not what Star Trek is, though. So my wife, who just, she likes just kind of the basic stuff. She likes fun, There's no deepness to the content she watches. She's not like into the lore of anything. So it's just a different experience.
Yeah, so he's having a fun time with the girls. He's laughing, making jokes. He's enjoying the cooking. He can smell things again all of a sudden.
Can we deal with the smell, the human smell thing? We got. I know we haven't got to that part yet.
No, yeah, yeah. Why was he not able to smell what he was cooking before?
So, well, yeah. So earlier on, I guess his sense of smell has been like taken down because humans stink so bad.
Yeah, that's right. We stink.
Right, that they've they can't smell things as well or something like that. And so somebody had said earlier like that was a change. Now, in all fairness, Enterprise did so. T'Pol did talk about humans as smelly barbarians, right? And she said, this was during Enterprise. So now the reason why I think it was a mistake, right? You've never had Tuvok complain of human smell. You never had, Leonard Nimoy explain and do that. But because in Enterprise the Vulcans were so like racist against humans, I think it was a way for the writers to like kind of ingrain that a little more. But I do think it was a mistake because it doesn't really make any sense.
I have a really good sense of smell, and I think that humans smell like shit. So
what?
Most humans smell pretty bad.
No. But isn't that's the thing? It isn't some humans. It's all humans. You get out of the bath, you perfume up, you still smell the Vulcans.
Yeah, I don't mind this change. I don't mind it. It didn't bother me. I can see how like Tuvok and Spock just never mentioned it in the old Spock because it wasn't pertinent and they were illogical.
What's the point?
It's just a joke to make us all look smelly.
It's not a joke though. She didn't make it as a joke in Enterprise. That's what I'm trying to say.
Well, maybe it was maybe because she was the first Vulcan to serve on a human vessel long term.
That's what the Vulcans asked her. I don't know how you've stood the smell for this long.
No, that makes sense then.
Okay, got it. But in here, it's a joke.
Right.
Yeah, that's the difference.
All right. Well, whatever. So he's cooking. He can enjoy it more. I love this. He's getting annoyed with Kirk. Don't forget to clean up that mess.
This was the funniest part. Yeah. This was the funniest part of the whole thing. I'm not sure why he had so much OCD. That seems almost more like a Vulcan thing. Like being obsessed with cleaning it up seems like it would be more Vulcan than human.
I have a problem with certain things like that too. And I'm human.
Really?
I have a little OCD like that too.
Oh, we're going to be testing this theory out.
Bro, every time I look at your goddamn desktop, I want to kill myself. Your desktop is the worst. Have you ever seen Shane's computer desktop? He has like 14 desktop windows. They just keep piling up. I can't stand it.
And if I could have more, I would.
No, it's nuts. Meanwhile, all my things are like meticulously organized when it comes to my computer. Not in my life, but my computer. Anyways.
Hey, make sure you clean up after yourself. Okay. Sam. Make sure you clean up after yourself. Okay, I will.
And then he's human from the neck up. I think that's a sexual joke. That's funny. Yeah.
This is like the whole Drax thing. Like I keep saying, like there'll come a moment where he's just like losing his shit.
Clean your mess. I might take this.
Now that's almost a Vulcan. Okay, I get it. Yeah.
I might take this and make this like just an insert for one of our videos. Clean your mess.
Yeah, that would work.
I love it. Sam's like,
what's classic though is Sam's look on his face. He doesn't understand. Are you serious? That's funny. Yeah, like when you look at this and you're like, oh, that isn't Spock. That's Ethan Peck or somebody else. It's funny.
That's Ethan Peck.
It's Drax. Oh, look at Drax. Wait, show the whole thing. Oh yeah.
He's eating bacon. Yeah.
Eating bacon. Now he said that he didn't. I guess he normally doesn't eat meat.
Yeah. I guess they're vegetarian or something.
Well, he ate meat. That's okay.
Oh, so now his humanness is getting to the point where it's making everyone uncomfortable. I love this. He's gonna fight. He's gonna fight Sam.
I mean, it's funny, but it doesn't make any sense. I mean, okay, but it's Three's Company, so I get it.
It's great, bro. I love this.
Yeah,
I love this, you cynical bastard. All right,
I'm not being cynical. It's hard watching my characters behave this way. Okay, go ahead.
Dane's got to go to therapy with La'an. I don't understand that. Is she the therapist now? What's happening? Why isn't he talking to the doctor? Anyways, and you know why? Oh, I'll tell you why. I said it last week with Danny. I said La'an, Christina Chong. What's her name?
Yep, Chong.
Chong clearly has the best agent out of every single person in this cast.
The best agent.
Because she has managed to be a pinnacle, an important part of every single episode we have seen so far. She is part of every episode. Every episode.
You're right.
She is the best agent out of every single
How about
person.
this? Maybe she's the best character.
Is she?
I don't know. I think she might be. And Pike's not doing shit. So I mean, like, what? When do I get excited about Pike? I mean, La'an's been in everything. She's actually done things that made sense. She's more. Listen, because her character is not a TOS character, I don't really get mad. Right? She's actually doing a good job.
Yeah, she is part of every single episode, though.
She is. I think she's an anchor point. She also is a serious character, right? So she's more Vulcan sometimes, I think, than Spock is.
That's true.
And she's also has her own things going on, her own issues. So I mean, she's a very balanced character.
That's true.
I really like her and Mbenga.
Yeah, so do I.
Quite a bit.
Okay, so she's trying to figure out how to save Spock or something. I don't know.
Yeah, so she feels.
Why isn't the doctor doing this? Why is the nurse always the one doing that? But you know what? Maybe this is why Mbenga is not the chief medical officer in TOS. Maybe they figure out that he's had Chapel do everything for him this last few years, and they knock him down.
He wasn't even the chief medical officer in the cage. So, but that's okay. Here's the thing. Like, they gotta call her Nurse Chapel, but she's definitely doing more than nurse things. Let's just put it that way.
She's always she's
You guys know what a nurse is, right? Nurses, you know what nurses do? They care for patients. That's what nurses do.
Yeah.
They do, like, check the vitals, make sure they don't die overnight until when the doctors come in and decide what to do with the patients. They definitely don't do what Nurse Chapel is doing here. So.
No, yeah, she's just a scientist at this point.
She's a scientist. That's what she really is. And they can't change her name, though. Although they should have. They should have just changed her name. Honestly, they've changed everything else.
Just make her doctor. Make her a doctor.
Just make her Dr. Chapel.
Dr.
Now, granted,
Chapel.
we would have all been upset. But now that the timeline's changed, maybe as a result of what happened, Nurse Chapel became a scientist or a doctor.
Isn't there like another version of like associate doctor or undergrad or something?
She's already not in Starfleet, right?
Oh, right.
In this show, she's not in Starfleet,
right.
And yet in TOS, she is.
Right. Yeah, just go for swing for the fences, guys. Like, it's fine. Yeah. My only criticism here is I don't care what she's doing, but like, why isn't Mbenga doing it? Why isn't Mbenga offering her advice? Why isn't he the one at the table trying to figure it out?
Because when you're the writer of this show, you can't do that because her and Spock have the thing. So she's motivated to fix him, right? Even though the guy who probably knows all the stuff is, that's okay. Doesn't have to make sense. We're talking about love here, Brian. Nothing matters when it comes to love in Star Trek. All that matters is that you have the right person doing the right thing, even if they're not really capable of doing it.
Well, no, I don't think that it's not that she's not capable. I'm sure there's nurses that are training to be doctors.
Should she be capable? No. There's nurse practitioners.
Yeah, but they're trained to be a doctor. But my problem is the doctor should be. Yeah. There's nurses that are in school. They're working as a nurse while they're in school to be a doctor, right?
I mean, maybe, but that's not what's going on here.
Why isn't my problem is why isn't Mbenga the actual chief medical officer doing it? Not.
I just explained it to you because that wouldn't make sense to the love relationship between Chapel and Spock. She's the one who has to be all in, man. Not Mbenga. He don't give a shit. He's going to give him his Vulcan loot, and we'll all be good tomorrow. It's all good.
Whatever. They should be working together. That's all I'm saying.
No. In fact, they're so not working together that later on he's basically like making fun of the fact that she can't get it done or that she won't be able to get it done. You've worked on this for like 24 hours. What do you think you're doing?
You should just go take a rest.
Go take a rest. Not. I'll take over for you and work on it while you go to bed. You just knock it off, right?
Right. Yeah. It should have been a team up. They should have worked together. It should have been obvious. That's his crewmate too. Like, I don't know. It's very odd.
There are a lot of things that are odd, my friend.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Not
Boy or girl here? I think girl here.
get out of here with that bull crap.
Boy. There you go.
All right.
Girl.
Oh,
Boy.
shut up. Shut up. All right, so she met with the Vulcan folks, and
look at that Vulcan.
Vulcan.
He looks like
that Vulcan sucks.
What's going on? What's going on here? I mean, he looks like a 12-year-old Vulcan.
He does look pretty rough.
What's happening here? Why is this? Why is his neck swallowing his head?
No, Nurse Chapel. We will.
We cannot accept you in the Science Academy.
Yeah, you would just said. What he should have said was, yeah, I don't even know how you got the application, but we definitely don't accept humans.
Yeah, and I would. He wouldn't even beat around the bush about it. Be like, yeah, no, absolutely not.
But you know what, bro? You know what? Why are we nitpicking? Why don't we just enjoy it? Right?
Shut up. I am enjoying it. This is how I enjoy it. Can't you tell?
So basically, he tells her that she's not cut out for the Vulcan Science Academy or whatever, and she baits him a little bit with something. Oh no, she does that later on.
Chapel. Good day.
Later on, Chapel baits him with like the fact that she learned from the Kirkolians or whatever.
Yeah, like they found out something that they didn't know. Kind of thing.
He's like, Vulcans can be such jerks.
No, you got to say it the way he says it. Yeah, Vulcans can be such jerks.
Yeah, Vulcans can be just.
He says it just like Drax. Honestly.
Vulcans can be. I can't say.
Vulcans can be. He stopped talking.
You're
like
making me laugh. Shut up.
Later on, they're gonna tell him what he sounds like because he can't remember what he sounded like as a Vulcan. Good.
He has a really nice lineup, though. Look at that fade, bro. Damn. Like, my barber needs to get on Spock's level with this fade.
Why don't you pause that, get a screenshot, put it on your phone? Bam.
Yeah, for real. I need to do that, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, you think I'm joking? I'm not joking. I'm going to do it right now.
Do it. This is the only channel you can come to where we also do our personal tasks at the same time we're giving a review.
Bro, I fell asleep in the barber chair. Look at this. You weren't there for this. I fell asleep in the barber chair.
What the hell's going on there?
And,
you look like Predator.
Bro, I know. Bro, this new kid got really. I was asleep because I worked my butt off, and I'm like, and I wake up with a tap. The guy's like, "Hey man, we're all done," and I don't even look at my hair. I just throw him money and I leave. Get in the car, and he had taken a razor to the side of my head and made like a gangster line around my hair.
Well, you go in looking like a gangster. This is what happens.
And my wife was like, "Why does it look like you're about to go hype a rapper outside of a concert?" My bad.
Hey, listen, I'm about to make Adam Van Gessen really high right now. Ready? Drax.
What is that? What is he saying? Drax.
Come on, man, keep up with me.
Real quick, while we're on this tangent, let's do a super chat.
Oh, all right.
From Mr. Christopher Mays. Thank you, Mr. Christopher Mays. I have given props for some attention to detail. Human Spock has accurate sideburns for humans. That is correct.
He does. Very well done. Kirk and McCoy had excellent sideburns.
Oh my gosh, I need to get those sideburns. That's what I should do.
I always point my sideburns, bro. Wait, no, it's been a while. I'm going back to pointing my sideburns.
Because she's hot and has a sexy voice. I'm not even sure what that's referring to, but I think I agree with you.
It doesn't matter. Brian agrees.
Dustin Cole, I got a notification for members area, but not the main stream. Damn YouTube. Oh yeah, what time is it? I guess.
You know what's ridiculous?
We're gonna have to push the member stream back a little bit. Go ahead.
You know what's ridiculous? The fact that YouTube demonetized us, but yet they still run ads on all of our videos, so they're still making money
right
on all of our videos, but we don't get to make any money.
Right. For some reason.
What kind of bullshit is that?
Like, yeah, listen, we're gonna demonetize you. We're not gonna tell you why. We're still gonna run ads throughout your videos, even if you requested not to. You're just not gonna get paid for it, okay, buddy? Yeah.
That's what that
so
is.
you should fix that problem so you don't get demonetized again, you slob.
Yeah, but we're not going to tell you what the problem is.
Right.
Never mind.
No, yeah, because that would be too easy. Because then we can fix whatever the problem is, or maybe it would just show that you made an error. Maybe.
Oh, you know what? They used to have to give us 60%. Now they get to keep 100. This makes sense. Like they get to keep all of it. Like it is like Penny said here. YouTube is gangster. Absolutely.
Yeah, they
like
are.
if you don't have to give anybody any money, go, man. Okay, I'm sorry. Let's keep going.
Christopher Mays again. Thank you, Christopher. I sure am glad we're enjoying the show and not worrying about canon, Shane.
I'm trying, Christopher. I'm trying.
It's true. I mean, it is more enjoyable. This was the best episode so far for me. I'm just being honest.
Wait, you're saying that this was the best episode?
Yep.
Oh,
I had the most fun. Boulevard Jones for $1.
so you like fun Star Trek.
Another Boulevard Jones for $1. Thank you, Boulevard Jones.
Thank you.
Every stream, someone says Boulevard Jones wins the internet today, and I always have to go back and figure out what it is that you win. He was trying to take over the stream hero.
Yes, that's what he always does. He's like he sees who's at the other. He's like, bam, got you.
Clever,
you know what he is?
clever.
He's a stream hero ninja.
He's a ninja. He's an assassin. Okay, back to this. Yeah. So bottom line, they have a weird. She does look so hot. God damn. They have a weird interaction because he's human. She likes it more. Blah blah blah. Okay.
More.
She does. She clearly liked that version of Spock more.
I want to give 2 upvotes right now.
We don't even have the upvote thing up.
I'm just going to give it right now. 2 upvotes.
Oh, I see. I know
Spock's
why.
mom is a MILF.
Yeah, Spock's mom is super hot. It's crazy.
I mean, like she is so much hotter now than she was in Discovery.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah,
A little bit of weight does it, dude. It was good.
Yeah, Spock's mom is super hot. Spock is wearing the Starfleet.
Well, I tell you guys, you know what I'm saying? He's like, we said, let me go in 1984. I'm going to go back to the whales and I'm going to wear a beanie.
It's not silly. It's regulation.
Ridiculous. It is silly, and it's but okay. Listen, if you're enjoying it, please don't take my weirdness. I'm like, it's a coping mechanism. You know, like when someone dies, right? And you go through what are all the things of like
the different stages of grief.
Stages. Yes. So this right now, what you're experiencing is one of my stages of grief. Right. It'll only last 5 to 10 years. And then I'll be okay with it.
Yeah, so you were in denial, then it was like anger, and then when we made all those theories, it was like bargaining.
Yeah, okay.
And now we're in the acceptance phase.
No, but no, I can't. So there's got to be another word for it because I'm being like really sarcastic and kind of mean.
Well, yeah, it's acceptance when like you can make fun of your tragedy now.
Oh, okay, got it. All right.
Yeah, no. I don't even know what all the steps are, but I know that part of it is denial, part of one's anger, one's bargaining, and one's acceptance. And I feel like we definitely showed all those. We were like, when we Discovery first came, we were like, what the fuck is this? Right. And then denial, like, no, this is not Star Trek. They're gonna fix it with like probably, the Red Angel suit or something. It's probably just a fever dream.
Yeah. I remember that.
That was denial, and then bargaining when we started making all the videos. Maybe the Romulans did it. Maybe what about this? It could be this, right? And now
we never got to accept it.
It took us a long time to get there.
We just never got there.
I'm there. I'm cool with it. Whatever.
You're
I am enjoying this. Look, it's not for me. It's not Star Trek proper. I could just enjoy it as Star Trek now. It's cool.
All right.
Whatever.
Okay.
Depression was one of them. Thank you, Michael. Adam said, I'm so baked now, Shane. The Strange New World of Thailand makes perfect sense.
Bring on the gore and porn.
You said Drax so many times. He's now like ascended to a higher being place.
Yeah. Gore and porn. That's right up there with Mocklin porn. I'm down.
So she's there to help Spock, figure out this this dinner he's having.
Go back one. Look at he's looking at her cleavage.
Of course he is. Yeah, Pike is literally just like staring at Amanda's cleavage.
Spock, I know we're friends, but
bro, your mom is super hot.
She's so hot, dude. Don't let her come around here like that.
She is really attractive. Again, everyone in Strange New Worlds is hot, even like the moms.
Well, at least one mom. T'Pol's mom's not very hot. Or T'Pring.
Oh yeah, yeah, you're right. I guess you're right. Right. I don't know. I'm sort of into people yelling at me though, so that's sort of did it for me. He's stressing out.
He's stress eating. I know. I can listen. I understand that feeling, so I get it.
Yeah, this is why I'm so fat. I stress eat all the time. All right. And they explain the thing about the fact that he's human now, and she's going to help him out. Blah, blah. All right, let's move on to the good part. She basically, his mom is going to help him fake it to make it, and deal with.
That's cool. That's what moms do.
Yeah, deal with his human emotions.
Mom's got your back.
Yeah, I liked this episode a lot. I liked her character in this a lot. I liked how connected they were at the end. I know it doesn't fit TOS. I don't get, it doesn't matter to me anymore because it's a different universe, and it worked.
It's just going to take me a while for that to sink in. Like right now, the wound is still fresh, so I hear what you're saying, but it's going to be a bit.
I think it's funny that they actually pulled the actual prosthetics out they used for him.
Yeah, you're right. That's what they actually use. That was good.
And Michael Nemo put some information on this. Thank you, Michael. I'm actually a psychotherapist. Oh, jeez.
We'll be calling you, Michael.
Yeah, we'll be dealing with you, bro.
I need your help.
We need your assistance with Star Trek. The DABDA is fluid, so grieving could be denial, bargaining, depression, anger, denial, anger, repeat until it fades.
Wait, I love this. The denial's in there. I love that it repeats. So
really?
I don't have to get through the whole thing right away.
So it can just... So it repeats until your memory of it fades away. Because what do they say? Like time heals all wounds.
Yeah. Basically.
But what happens if every week that wound is being reopened?
That's the problem. I think that's what worries me, right? Like at some point you're going to be like, all right. It's just like, and I understand. I understand that some people are like, I really like Trek. Somebody said here, I think it was. Mithrander said, I like all Trek. And the thing is, for me, the problem is, Mithrander, is that for me personally, what I love about Trek is the universe that it's created. So I do love watching Star Trek itself, but I love it when I watch Star Trek and it somehow connects to other Star Trek that I've watched. I love the universe building. So when they create something that doesn't fit in the universe, it feels like a thorn in my side as opposed to just another piece of Star Trek. And so that's where it becomes difficult.
Well, so, yeah. Also, what makes Star Trek so good, and I said this before earlier, part of it, what makes it good is that building out, connecting, trying to understand things. Like the conversations you would have with other Trekkies about, what house of Klingon is whatever, like these conversations are important. Not being able to have real conversations and debates with Trekkies and other fans, and just sort of that mentality where we're at this weird mentality where we're being told to shut up and just enjoy it, or else we're going to ruin what little we get, is such a weird, almost like, what's the word? Stockholm syndrome kind of thing. Like, like, look, I get it. If we complain too much and don't enjoy it, then it won't get good. It won't get good ratings, and they won't make it anymore. And I get what you're saying there, but like that doesn't mean you just take whatever it is, even if it's bad, and just deal with it, and don't try to connect the dots and don't try to explain the larger universe, because you're worried that if you complain too much, they'll take it away from you. Like, bro, like you're in charge. They're not in charge. They own this thing, but it's only successful if we watch it. And I'm not saying not to watch it. I'm saying make your voice known and criticize things. If you love it, you'll criticize it when it's not doing well, when it's being mismanaged. You criticize things that are being mismanaged because there's someone at the top mismanaging it, and it's affecting your enjoyment over something you love as deeply as we love Star Trek. I saw that comment a lot. Don't try to connect everything. Just enjoy it. That's not what we do. It's not.
The part of the enjoyment is the connecting of it.
Right.
Like that's, it'd be one thing if this was, Star Trek Delta Quadrant or whatever, or we're someplace else with different characters doing different things, but that's not what it is. So, it's very difficult to see the same character. Well, part of it is if they just used all new characters, this wouldn't be a problem. Let's face it. Okay. They're using the same characters from previous shows and they're treating them differently.
But it's a new universe now, so we can deal with it. Or it's an altered timeline where things are different.
As Michael Nemo told me, in time it will fade. Because when you stop giving a crap about something, then the pain goes away.
Okay, back to the show.
Wait, what's that look she gave right there? Go back one right there.
Oh, I can't go back that short without hitting a copyright claim. All right, so so she's teaching them how to do this ritual, and I actually love this. So to Vulcans, the pot isn't very hot, but to humans it is. And he's like, how do you touch that? Scalding hot. And she just walks over there and like picks it up.
Well, because not because it's not hot. It's because Vulcans have trained their mind to be able to tolerate the heat.
Right. And she, even as a human, she has suffered through that in order to be married to his father.
Right.
I thought that was great. I love that so much.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, that sticks to, to give some credit where credit's due. That sticks to the fact that, Amanda has always made sacrifices to be married to Sarek. So,
yeah, I love it. I love this character. Okay. And then they're trying to teach him how to I hate this part. Yeah, I hate this part too. They're trying to teach him how to be Vulcan. Like flat expression, don't sound like that, don't, use different. I didn't like this either.
I mean, he doesn't remember what a Vulcan sounds like.
He forgot. Did he forget what he sounds like? That's what it's
they did it to make a joke. Like this is just supposed to be funny. Like I have a hard time when Star Trek's like confusing. Like, is it a serious show or is it a comedy? Like, what is it? You can have funny moments, but this, I don't know.
Yeah.
Wow, she just looks really good there.
Yeah, she's great. She's a good-looking woman. And yeah, my thoughts to your thoughts. He can't actually do this, right? So he's pretending to see her memories,
right?
Which is
well, and I get it. And possibly this makes sense because he hasn't, he doesn't have a lot of practice of deception. It's not something he spent his life doing, mm-hmm. So it might be hard for him to act deceptive. Right. So that makes sense.
Right.
Pike doesn't have anything else to do but to cook and help Spock through his personal.
Yeah, he's literally just cooking Vulcan dishes.
Dude, you did not earn your pay this month. Oh wait, you don't get paid in Star Trek. Never mind.
And then you got Chapel furiously working on a problem while Mbenga is casually playing Angry Birds on his tablet.
He's like doing tic-tac-toe. Although there was a comment here, like Jill 47 said Chapel's specialty is epigenetic research. She had a bio research background in TOS 2. She was stuck with the nurse because 60s still doesn't make a lot of sense. That I agree with. If that's what her character is, then that makes sense to me.
I thought it was archaeological medicine. Like, isn't that what someone said? I don't know.
But if what Jill's saying is correct, and I don't remember specifically what Nurse Chapel's specialty was. All I know is she assisted Dr. McCoy. But if that's the case, then that's fine, and that is true. Being stuck as a nurse is one thing, but I don't think it would have been wrong to, I don't know. They shouldn't have added Nurse Chapel in the show at all. Period.
Well, I mean,
that was wrong.
But if the timeline she could have just been a doctor or a physician or a scientist.
I just don't know why she's on the show. Like, why have Nurse Chapel here?
I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all.
I mean, I know why you don't like. I know the whole blah.
No, I like the character too. And hold up, I like the character. I don't mind it. If it's a different universe, it's okay to change what she did.
I mean, I get that they had to have Spock, but why bring in all the other Why bring in other TOS characters?
Well, Mbenga was actually confusing. I mean, well, it's a different universe, so it doesn't. He could be the chief of medicine.
I know you
now.
keep saying that. I don't want to hear that excuse anymore.
I mean,
I
that's
get what you're
they
saying.
said it.
But when they started the show, it was not like that. So they've changed it in the middle, blah, blah, blah. But why bring in, these characters only to make it more difficult? So I don't know. That's what I struggle with.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Joe, for $2. Chapel's specialty was epigenetic research.
Epigenetic.
Thank you, Joe. Epigenetic. I can't say that word. Thank you, Joe. All right. Moving on. So she's trying to figure it out. Blah, blah. Science. I can be persuasive.
That face was crazy.
I gotta go.
Girls, she definitely has an interesting face. You know what it is? It's the dark eyebrows and the blonde hair.
Yeah.
Is just really strange.
She's really pretty. They're all really pretty. Even Ortega's pretty. They made a mistake though by giving her Ortega's that stupid haircut. I saw an interview with the actual actress recently, and she, first off, is very beautiful, very well spoken. I think that they've done a little wrong by this character. They could have done.
Why do you think they did it?
I don't know, but they could have done better with this character. In fact, the episode where she was like, "I'm Ortega's and I fly the shuttle," the ship was. They could have done so much more with this brand new. We have a new character. You're saying don't use all the old characters. Well, we have a new character. You could have done a lot with this character, just like you're doing with La'an. But they really sort of. She's sort of a sidekick, and I don't like it.
I think they have too many characters for 10 episodes. I mean, now granted, it doesn't bother me much, but you haven't really seen Uhura at all this season.
Which is fine with me.
I hear what you're saying, but it's just the point of having main characters on your show is you got to give them enough time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now, you are going to get Uhura next episode for sure, but.
All right. So she convinces them to go and talk to the Kirkosians. Can you say it again? Kirkosians. Kirkosians. And they're going to fly a shuttle, I guess, over there.
They're trying to solve the Spock problem by contacting the aliens.
By going back to the Kirkosians, right.
Yeah.
All right. And they need Uhura because Uhura is the language specialist. And
makes sense.
It makes sense. And they need Ortega because she flies the ship.
Yep.
Okay. Makes sense. Back in here. So she's going to try to delay T'Pril and Savette. Here we go. So he can have time with T'Pring. My goodness, T'Pring. Jeez. Unbelievable character. All right. I do believe, she criticizes him for not telling him immediately what the problem is. I don't know why he didn't. Why was he?
Yeah, I think it really, the one thing that they've done, it is a new universe, but in the old universe, if you recall, Amok Time, she really wasn't interested in Spock anymore. Like, she'd moved on. She had a new dude. This was all like ceremonial. There didn't seem like there was any connection. But they've done a really interesting thing here where they've given these two characters a strong connection. And if anything, I would say, she's really, gone over the top to try to make this thing work.
Yeah, she's a ride or die chick. Wrong. Right. No, yeah. Spock is 100% in the wrong here.
Right.
She has gone out of her way on multiple occasions since season 1 to try to be there as a good partner to Spock, and Spock has ruined it almost every time.
Well, and now in TOS, it also was sort of Spock's fault too, because he was gone and he wasn't there. So they do kind of follow that timeline. This does give us a story of a T'Pring, because Amok Time definitely gives us a T'Pring that doesn't that we don't like, obviously. So I mean, I would say, so the real question is why doesn't Spock bring her in? Why can't they have this? Because this relationship needs to not work ultimately.
Yeah, ultimately that's what they're doing. But it bothers me because she does seem like an absolute, a ride or die partner this whole time.
Yeah,
she's been very, she's been very, what's the word?
Loyal.
Loyal, but also accommodating to his schedule and his problems and his times.
And I would once again like to point out that show me a character in Hollywood that's a female character that's the bad guy.
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, the women will never be made the bad people.
Well, I'm absolutely in love with T'Pring. I think she's awesome.
We've never heard that before. Can you
Yeah.
share with us
I'm
more?
in love with her. Okay. I love this. I love everything about T'Pring. She's my favorite thing ever. All right. So yeah. So there's.
Oh wait, go back. Who's cooking?
Well, it's obviously I can't go back as fast as you want.
Okay, wait a sec. Hey, wait a second. That's the chick from The Office. What is she doing here on Star Trek?
Yeah, he's making Vulcan delicacies.
I'm gonna tell you what, Gordon Ramsay, you watch the fuck out, dog.
Bro,
Like,
I
you
gotta
just
say,
watch out.
all of this stuff looks delicious. Like watching this episode made me starving.
Pike needs his own show, his own cooking show.
You know what? Yeah, dude. I know you said that her mom wasn't hot. She's not bad looking either.
She's not. What's wrong with you?
None of them are bad
You know,
looking.
I guess if you put some ears on a chick that looks like an elf, I guess that's all you need.
Yeah, that's all I need.
But wait, stop. Who does she look like?
A little bit like Mindy Kaling.
She looks just like Mindy Kaling.
She looks a little bit.
In fact, I had to like look at it for a second. Go, oh, is that
They
like
should have
Mindy
made it. They should have made it Mindy. Yeah, there's Pike in the back cooking.
And here's yet another idiot man.
Well, I thought it was funny. He was treated that way. I thought it was funny. He was offered food, and he's like, "Oh," and he was he's like,
Now, to be fair, to
"Looks
Krill was the
delicious."
boss. Hit him up time. Yeah,
Right.
he's like, "Oh, yeah, of course I can't eat it. Of course."
Oh,
Yeah,
but I
it's
cannot
kinda-
have it because it's not the ceremonial time. Yeah. And see, if it was just him and Pike in there, they'd be like broing down and munching on Vulcan
yeah.
delicacies.
Yeah.
Look at this. Oh, I guess I can hardly call them traditional, but they're delicious.
He's like,
I thought it was funny. And they put salt on
Of
it.
course you did.
Apparently,
It's Three's Company.
you don't put salt on Vulcan food. I guess I don't know. All right. So they're gonna begin the
"Come
ritual.
knock on my door."
They're gonna knock on my door. So the ladies, the three amigos, are going to the Kirkosian's portal or vortex or gravimetric, whatever.
Yeah.
And they're going to go try to speak to them about fixing Spock.
Yeah.
Last time they were there with the shuttle, it disintegrated the shuttle. So let's see how this goes. All right.
Well, that's when Spock was driving.
Well, yeah, but
Ortega-
now they have Ortega. And this is Ortega, and she flies the ship.
just remember that Spock doesn't do anything right. So that's another
All
occurrence.
right,
Of
she
something
does.
like this.
She flies into a perfect angle. Just
Yeah,
to,
angles. You got it. Doesn't get sucked in. All right.
gets
All
in.
right.
All right.
Right down the toilet bowl, baby.
Now they're at the thing. He is trying to like control his emotions. I feel like I could have definitely have like just been unemotional for a single night.
Yeah, I guess
I could have pulled this off. It's acting.
Spock. I mean, he's not good at being deceptive. I get that, but not being able to control his emotions at all. Now, the thing that's not like humans can't control their emotions. Just because he became human means he shouldn't have lost his ability to control his emotions. And that's kind of the weird thing that they've done here. But they of course they wanted to make it funny, so that's why they did it.
Interesting. Yeah, someone says Vulcans actually like salt when someone sneaks it in their food. Interesting.
Nice. Yes.
Maybe they should just eat it then.
They're not allowed to.
Oh, I see. Oh, that's right. They're vegan or whatever, right?
I don't know. But
Okay, now
We're going
they're in this weird dimension, and they're going to talk to the space customer service.
Space Best Buy.
It's the Best Buy customer service helpline in space.
Right.
The Kirkovian. Hello. Oh no, I am blue. You want to speak to yellow? Like, all right.
It's easy for us to understand colors.
Yeah.
That's one of the, yeah. Well, okay, so criticizing the actual part of the show here, like it would have been cool to give them names. You didn't have to give them colors.
Yeah, I guess you
Yeah.
didn't.
I mean,
My
because
thing is,
we're not smart enough to like understand what we're seeing.
but did they actually represent the colors? Like when yellow came out, was yellow yellow? That's the
Oh,
question.
they didn't. That's just what the thing said. It doesn't actually say
Oh, I see.
yellow. I don't know. I'm asking you because you got it.
No,
right
I
here.
say yeah. He said I'm blue. I think it's what it
Oh, it
said.
says I'm blue. Yeah, of course. That's because And this is the dumbing down of Star. I think that's what probably. There's a whole bunch of things that make me mad, but the dumbing down of Star Trek really is what bothers the shit out of me.
Sure.
Like Star Trek is for intelligent people. You can give those beings names. They don't have to be the colors we see on screen, like we're fucking kindergartners.
Yeah. Hello, I am.
Or how about no name at all? And why do you have to have multiple of them? Wait, that's the Thermians from Galaxy Quest.
So they're trying to convince it to help convince them, whatever, to help them fix Spock.
Translators?
What's that?
We don't have universal translators.
I don't know actually. I mean, I don't know. Don't get me going. Basically, they're getting the same runaround as like remediation was made. Go on your merry way, blah blah. And they say, "Can I speak to the original person or entity or whatever?" All right, now they're back to with Spock and T'Pring. They're doing the ceremony, and her mom is absolutely like a total dick. Like in every way, she's a massive dick. She goes out of her way to be a dick every single moment. She's just the whole time she's a dick, and he's trying to like control his
The dad back there going, "Oh shit, what's happening again?"
He's trying to control him, so he's like, "Calm down, Spock, relax." And the way her father like casually bangs the thing is sort of funny. He's like, "Okay, enough of this." Yeah, it's pretty. And he's got to go to the bathroom. And she's like, "A Vulcan should have more resilient blood." All right, and he goes in there and he screams like, because he's so angry, he's so frustrated, like a 3-year-old child. And which I guess makes sense.
He doesn't even care about T'Pring. I don't understand. Like, does he care about T'Pring? He doesn't, right?
How do you not care about T'Pring?
My point is, he's obviously has feelings for Chapel, right?
Sure.
And as we all know, you cannot, I could not be in love with two people at the same time.
I'm literally currently in love with like 4 people on the screen right now.
Not from the waist down. Talking about emotionally.
No, I mean, I get what you're saying, but like,
would it bother him that much for her to judge him?
I don't know. The relationship between him and Chapel is so awkward. I don't even know if it is love or if it's just someone that you're attracted to or you respect that's in your vicinity. I don't know. Like love can grow. Like you've heard of people, like you were in the Navy, people on ships for long periods of times away from their wife, and they end up in a relationship with some person that they might not have not ended up in a relationship before, right. But because they're there and it's the only one around, and they're
wait. If you can't love the one you want, you love the one you're with. That's what you're saying. But here's the problem: he's with both of them. He can choose
right now, but not always. They did say that he's gone for months on end.
Yeah, name me the last time you left Space Dock. Go ahead.
I don't. Yeah, that's a whole other. Yes, you're right, but like canonically, like the woman just said, you're gone for months on end. So like, that's all we see of it, you know.
Prove it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Show us on screen, please.
Yeah.
Now they're back, and finally, yellow came out.
No, I'm yellow. Yeah.
Lost opportunity, guys. They should have made the goddamn color yellow.
You know what's cool is like,
it would have made more sense from like if our translator was showing it because the color that they represented as entities. I don't know why yellow is just the same color as blue. It's confusing.
Maybe for blind people, like listening to the show, that like helps them, you know.
Oh, they should have made the color on the screen. They should have made it yellow.
That's yellow next to them.
See, that's so weird. Like I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Lost opportunity. This show is actually pretty rife with. Am I saying that right? Rife.
Yeah, rife means lots of things.
Yeah, rife with lost opportunities. So many things they could do that they just don't. Like the last episode, Lotus Eaters, I said during the review, I was like, why is it that Una wasn't immune to the change? Why didn't you we just saw the courtroom episode, make their decision in that episode have weight by making her augmented abilities allow her to withstand the change. Instead, she's like the first one to succumb to it.
Right.
Mistake. That's a mistake. What about Kane's character? 3,000 years. You tell me no physical. They're all physiologically the exact same. They're all going to succumb at the same speed. That makes no sense. Anyways.
Well, you got to have creative writing. Just to bring out a point here. I watched the Paramount Plus Cheers reunion thing that just happened not too long ago.
Mm-hmm.
And they had, Ted Danson and John Ratzenberger and George Wendt and all the people from Cheers. And I thought it was hilarious because John Ratzenberger is like, I just want to say, like, writers today, they have no idea what the hell they're doing. Basically, they're terrible writers. You don't want to know why? Because they don't read books. And the writers back when we were writing Cheers, they read books. They knew how to write. And I thought it was funny because we've been having these discussions lately. It's becoming painfully obvious that the new generation of writers that's coming up have been so busy, and nothing wrong with this, playing video games, watching television, streaming, and all this stuff. Nobody's reading any books anymore. And it's very hard to write. It's very hard to write fiction if you don't read fiction. I don't even know anybody who is a writer will understand this. It is very hard to write if you don't read it. Right. Okay. There's something about putting it down that way. And I can't explain it, but if you just watch TV and then try to write things, you write like you write like you watch TV.
And consider the writers that we've actually spent time with, that are the Star Trek writers we spent time with, that we respected from Picard season 3. We've been to their houses and they all have books and books and books. They're readers.
Yes, they're readers. And I think it's important, and it's a lost art. And I'm not saying, like, I'm not criticizing anybody for not being a reader, because, frankly speaking, I don't read much anymore. There's so many things going on. But that is something that is, I believe, in order to be a good writer, you need to, be a good reader. And it's like the music of today. Like, no longer do you have to, like, become, an expert on an instrument in order to get into a band, in order to get some gigs. Now, if you've got, like, an interesting voice, you'll have the record studios will just, like, make you into a star if you do it the way they want you to do it. You don't have to actually know anything.
Yeah, they can manufacture it now.
Yeah. Right. And I think that's kind of what we're seeing here to some respects.
That's like trying to be a chef without eating food.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Good point.
All right. So now they're talking to Yellow, and Yellow's rebuffing them, and they're trying to make that. They're trying to explain why, and he says because I care about it, and he has to admit as the reason why Spock took care of her, because he loves her and she loves him, and blah blah blah. It got real emotional. I'm just gonna skip all past all that crap.
Well, they're like, come on, just admit it.
Just admit it, dummy. Yeah, but they took out the other part. Yeah. The other part that I love. All right. And can you please put them back? And I guess they agreed to. All right. Come time for the mind meld. And this is very important. Union between different cultures. And now, it's funny because Pike is trying to cover for them by playing charades.
It's a human ritual that is very, very important. Yes, very important.
I
knock on my door.
I love how
waiting for you.
I love how Savette was like so open to it. Like, I want to hang out with Savette.
I love how Savette is just a complete idiot.
Yeah, but he seems like a fun guy to hang out with. That's all I'm saying.
I know.
All right, whatever.
Vulcan men are typically that way.
Okay, Shane. All right.
But hey, good sitcoms where you got a laugh track. Yeah, the men are usually that way, so it's cool.
Okay, and then she talks about why he moved the shields because he loves her, and by the way, this whole time they're having this conversation, I'm like, just inject him. Like, Pike is out there trying to distract these Vulcans. Stop having this conversation.
Also, you were really engaged. Now, this says a lot to me, what you just said right there. That means you were really into this episode.
Yes.
Because I could have stood there all day long, would have changed nothing for me. So that's good.
Like, all I'm saying is she's having this conversation with him. Like, he needs to get back out there. Finally, she injects him. Oh, my God. It happens fairly quickly too. He does a thing with the memory, blah blah blah, whatever. And he gets through it. He gets through the ritual, and she's still sort of a massive dick to him. And
Well, yeah.
whatever. He gets through it. Is this part of the charade? Says Savette. So funny.
Oh, is it part of the charades?
All right. So this whole time, by the way, he admits that
whoa.
Oh, he admits that he did it all while being human.
No, you got to go back. This is important.
Go ahead.
The only important part of this whole thing. And they did a really good job of doing a flip here. And so essentially, T'Pring is basically, all the shit she's talking really is a reflection of his mom, who's human.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And she's basically trash talking. And finally, Spock tells her, well, guess I was human the whole time during this whole thing. Right? He sticks up for his mom, right? This whole time. So the whole thing gets to the point where it doesn't really matter anymore. He kind of shuts her up, blah, blah, blah. Definitely not going to work in his favor, I think. He's but it is what it is. So, and I thought that they did a good job of turning this around and making it have some heart. So it did have some heart there. And thankfully it's in another universe, so I don't have to really worry about the implications, because Spock never addressed it. In TOS, in the real Star Trek universe, Leonard Nimoy's Spock during Journey to Babel, during that episode, his mom says, it would be great if you cracked a smile or recognized your human side. You haven't done so in like 8 years or whatever,
right?
Or even further. And so the fact that he hasn't done that, and so it's sweet what he does here for his mom, that I don't think references the other universe, but in this universe, it's very nice.
I like what Jill says. I love Savette. He probably kept T'Pring from growing up crazy like her mother. Yeah, I like Savette too. Yeah. I love this too. He's walking up there with the food, and then he sees it going on. He's like, nope. He walks away.
Come and knock at my door.
Dude,
that was Mr. Farley coming in on a Jack and Janet moment.
I don't know why I gotta know why you're using such a dated reference sitcom.
We're old people here.
You go back to like the earliest possible sitcom ever.
What what Three's Company?
It's pretty old, bro.
It was in the 80s, bro.
Whatever, dude. That's pretty old.
Okay, well, I'm pretty old, so that's the one.
It wasn't like the 70s easily.
It was in the 80s.
Christopher Mays says, "I remember how in a muck time no one knew Spock's mom." That's
remember? I remember.
Remember? Yeah. So no one knew Spock's mom. No one knew T'Pring. Yet they spent a lot of time with these characters, like 5 years earlier.
It's all good.
He's just trying to antagonize you, Shane.
It's working, Christopher. It's working.
All right, but this was a good moment, bro. Okay. Okay, so they're gonna break up right now or something. Which, by the way, is if we were doing downvotes right now, he would get like 30 downvotes from me. What's wrong with you? Like, I'm sorry, Chapel's hot, but like T'Pring, come on, shut up. Like, what a silly notion. All right, now you go back to the guy with the Vulcan. Oh, you can reapply if you want. This guy with the neck swelling his face, and she impresses him with something about the Krakosian biology or whatever. And he's like, "Wait, what?" I don't know.
Which he wouldn't have done either, but that's cool.
No,
he would have been like, "Okay, thanks, bye."
Yeah, I don't see how that's relevant. Okay,
but we needed we needed a moment where she was putting him in his place.
Right, that's required. Right,
because we should have humans in the Vulcan Science Academy.
The Vulcan Science Academy.
Absolutely.
And then they're gonna drink and talk about their day. All right, so I'm just gonna go back to this. This was a beautiful moment, in my opinion.
Yeah, it was nice.
With his mom, I thought it was beautiful. I thought it was heart. It was touching.
You know what? Yes, new Coke Spock. I agree. So this is what I'm gonna call Ethan Peck. Ethan Peck Spock is new Coke Spock, and I think this is a very nice moment for them. There we go.
Whatever. It was nice.
I'm being sincere for new Coke Spock.
I really doubt that, but it's fine.
For new Coke Spock, I am. 100%.
I love that he acknowledged that, her what she had to deal with to raise him and live on Vulcan.
Yeah, but of course in TOS, which is the other universe and not this one, like he didn't understand. In fact, he said to his father, "Why did you even bother marrying her?" But that's cool. That's cool.
Now, of course,
All
they find out. She finds out very quickly, like almost immediately, that she, like the second he broke up with the Pring, he's like, "Yo, Chapel, let's get this going." And they start making out and whatever. And
Only 5 more episodes to go.
yeah, and then Vulcan sex, Vulcan on human sex, right there. And that's it. That's the episode. That's the entire episode. I don't know how this review still ended up being an hour and a half long. I don't get it. But here we are.
Because, yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't even talk that much.
But I got to tell you, I enjoyed the episode. Shane did not.
Great.
I enjoyed the episode.
I like Three's Company as well, but it's not Star Trek.
Oh my God. It's such a data reference.
I'm saying I liked the TV show Three's Company because it's funny. Right. And we have Lower Decks, which is funny. Let's keep Star Trek in the serious realm. Listen, you can have your, I'm not a married man comment. You can have the funny moments in Star Trek, but does it have to be a comedy?
Whatever. I liked it. And now here's the deal. I only like it knowing that it's an altered timeline. That's why I like it.
Okay.
So I'm going to like it. And you know what? If you don't like it,
I'm trying to like it.
You don't know. You don't have to like it. And you don't have to like it. I'm just saying.
Okay, here's what I'm trying to do.
For me, I enjoyed it, but I only enjoyed it knowing that it was an altered timeline.
I'm trying to see it as being an altered timeline. That's what it is. So therefore, I can respect, enjoy it for what it is.
I think
if I can get to that place.
I get it. I think some people, when they watch our reviews, because we're so sarcastic all the time, they think like we just hate everything. But I'm going to be honest, I enjoyed this. I might have been sarcastic about it. I might make fun of things. I'm nitpicky, but I still enjoy it.
And it's and we're being sarcastic because even though this show may be interesting and maybe you like it, it's still disrespectful towards TOS.
Well, yeah.
So they are not disrespectful. They show us when they make this that they don't respect what came before.
It's not how I would want Star Trek to be, but I was still entertained.
Right. So
I wish that the A story was the Kirkosians, and the B story was Spock's thing.
I mean, I could probably, like, if I evaluate this not as Star Trek, like if I said, okay, if these are different characters, different show, blah, 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 it's more Orville. Like if this is more like Orville-like this felt like more like an Orville episode.
Yeah.
Like, if it was like that and these other characters, then yeah, I'm down. It was good.
Yeah.
Like, it's just hard for me to look at Spock and see it happening. So that's the tough part for me.
Yeah. I think I'm just farther along my acceptance progression here than Shane is.